What's up guys, Toasty here, Get Burnt. Today I'm going to be talking more about Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and today we have some actual new info about the story mode that is pretty interesting. So the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about was that IGN has actually reported that all of the villainous characters, aka Dark Gohan, Dark Vegeta, Dark Gotenks, Dark Kid Buu, Dark Frieza, Dark Cell, all of them apparently will have entirely different movesets than their normal counterparts. So apparently it seems like we're going to be getting a more brutal sort of version of each character in terms of their moveset, and this is something that really interests me because I didn't expect them to do this. I expected them mainly to just make them evil and their moveset would be somewhat the same because, you know, I didn't think they would change their moves based on that, but obviously they would get a little bit more brutal. I'm not expecting a huge change, even though we know who IGN and what they're like, I'm not expecting an entirely different moveset. I'm expecting mainly just them to act more brutal when they do their moves. Like, let's say if Gohan's move, like, is taken, Ultimate Gohan at least, is taken from Raging Blast 2 and it's Burst Rush, or BT3 I guess if you want to say, because it was in that game originally. If you want to say that that was the move that he had, maybe it would be a little bit more brutal and he would do some more brutal things whilst doing that move instead of everything else, and the move is still there at the core. It's just a somewhat different move than it normally would be with Ultimate Gohan. And same thing with Vegeta and Gotenks. I think that they're going to probably just be somewhat different to be a little bit more brutal in terms of their attacks and obviously their fighting style. So I don't think that they're going to be entirely different. I don't think they're going to have different moves and all that other stuff, because it really doesn't seem like there's an actual reason for them to have different moves, because they are just dark versions of the same characters. So honestly, in my personal opinion, I don't think that that's going to be extremely changed. A lot of people, if you trust IGN, you could probably say that they'll have completely different from their original forms. I guess you could say that, but I'm not sure. I don't really trust IGN completely right now, so I'm just gonna guess that they have just more brutal movesets of their normal movesets, just to like make it a little bit more brutal. And then we have some more story information and stuff like that. So we already know that parallel quests are a thing, but so far all we really knew about parallel quests is that they were something for your creative character to do to fight on the side of the villains. But it seems like you're actually going to be having something called a Villainous Mode, where you are actually able to get a chance to play with your well, yeah, you're going to be able to play with your friends obviously, but you're going to have a chance to actually play as the villains and try and defeat the heroes. And apparently this will be a much harder mode than just the normal story mode, and you're gonna get much more better rewards as well as more Zenny for actually playing on the villain side and beating them. Now if you lose, apparently you lose Zenny, or it seems like you lose Zenny, and you actually lose the Villainous Mode, which I would assume is something that will be like temporary. Like if I fight Kid Buu, after the battle, it'll be like, oh, do you want to fight as Kid Buu in his more evil form, I guess, or his dark form, against Super Saiyan 3 Goku and your hero? It'll probably use like an AI for your hero. And if you win, then you get more Zenny, and obviously I just said more rewards, clothing, all that other stuff. And I think that this is a really cool idea. It says that online play is encouraged because these are much harder missions, so that you're probably going to want, instead of losing it and giving a chance of you actually losing the battle and losing that, then they are saying that you should probably go online, get a friend, and, you know, fight the good guys yourself, so that you actually can get those rewards and make sure that they come to you. So I think that that's really cool. I think that that's a really nice way of approaching it. I thought that it was just going to be like, oh yes, play as Kid Buu, and it was going to be pretty much just the same thing with no other stuff. But having extra rewards that aren't really accessible that much else through other stuff besides the villain stuff, I think that's really awesome. And remember guys, I know a lot of you are probably going to say, oh man, why is it only exclusive to that, man? Why would I have to only go through that content just to get those cute costumes? Well, remember, there are 450 pieces of clothing in the game. That's a lot. That's a lot of clothing. So getting those few that are most likely going to be, or probably about 10 that are going to be coming from the villainous stages, or at least that's what I would assume in terms of how many there are. I would assume that if you were trying that hard to do that, that you would not really care that much about just 10 costumes, since there are over 400 more that you could choose from. So honestly, for me, that's not a big deal. I think that being an actual thing that's only exclusive to that mode, I think that's really awesome, and I think that that's something that I can't wait to do, especially playing as like Dark Gohan, Dark Vegeta, and Dark Gotenks, because that's apparently also going to be part of the Villainous Quest. You're going to be able to play as them as well, not just Kid, Buu, Cell, and Frieza. You're apparently going to be able to play as the Dark characters as well. I don't know if that's going to be as well for Raditz and all those other ones that are becoming different, like Ginyu becomes different, or at least that's what it seems like, obviously. So we don't really know yet. I think that they're probably going to allow you to play as every villainous character and maybe have a chance of getting 1 or 2 items every time you fight and win one of those matches, and I think that that is a good idea. I like it, and I can't wait to see it implemented in the actual game. Alright, another thing I want to touch on is that a lot of people have been talking about how Goku has had screenshots of him being hit alone by the Special Beam Cannon by Piccolo, as well as one of him and Raditz being hit by the Special Beam Cannon. And a lot of people are asking, is this an alternate storyline as well as the original storyline from Dragon Ball Z? So I'm going to be reading this article, and this is from Saiyan Island, and I will be linking this article in the description because, you know, if I'm reading directly from it, I shouldn't just, like, read it and not, like, give any sort of credit, because this is on Saiyan Island. So, yeah. Alright. Additionally, the way the game is presented, there will be 2 sets of story sequences. First, the altered, and then the original. For example, in the Battle with Raditz, players will be able to experience the distorted timeline story where Raditz dodges Piccolo's Special Beam Cannon, as well, when it only connects to Goku. Then the player, as the hero who is working to fix the Dragon Ball timeline, will participate in the fight. Following the player's victory, the original Dragon Ball Z story is presented where Piccolo's Special Beam Cannon hits both Raditz and Goku. So it seems like they're actually going to be allowing you, after you do use your created character to defeat Raditz, obviously, after he dodges the Special Beam Cannon, it seems like you're actually going to be unlocking the original story arc or part with Raditz and Goku actually both getting hit by the Special Beam Cannon, which I think is something that's really awesome. I really never thought they were gonna have any sort of original story stuff put into the game, mainly because it was so focused on your created character and all that other stuff that I expected, oh yeah, this is just gonna be the alternate storyline, kind of like, I guess that you could say Hero Mode, although Hero Mode was like an option for the game, but it was a lot shorter than the actual story mode of Ultimate Tenkaichi. But I never expected them to put this in. I'm really glad that they're putting this stuff in, because a lot of people were wanting to see the original Dragon Ball Z story technically told in the game, as well as seeing your new altered storyline, which I think this is a really cool thing to do. I'm surprised that this actually is coming in so late in the game, because we really have not seen anything about this. We've only seen this screenshot of both Goku and Raditz being hit, which I thought was just them looking at a screenshot, or like at least a picture, because you know in the trailer where Trunks has that scroll and he gives your hero the scroll and you see all of the pieces of Dragon Ball Z and the stuff that's changed and all that stuff. I thought that that was it. I thought that that was you looking at a picture or just a screenshot of them showing you just Goku and Raditz being hit. So somewhat like of an in-game gallery, but it seems like you're actually gonna be able to play as this part. Now the thing I wonder is, will there be separate cutscenes? So since it shows both Raditz and Goku being hit by the Special Beam Cannon, I'm wondering if you do that, like let's say you beat Raditz in his dark form and then you get the chance to play as Goku and Raditz in the original timeline, then will you be seeing the cutscene that was originally supposed to be in it for Piccolo hitting Raditz and Goku with the Special Beam Cannon and all that stuff? I think that that sort of thing would be really awesome. I guess that could be what's happening right now, and you know, that is just something that I find really cool, so I can't wait to see that in the actual game. Alright, it's a little bit extra information here that is on Saiyan Island. It's technically not really that much related to this video, but I'm going to be talking about it anyway. So lastly, this is something that we already know technically, but the created character's voice can be changed. In the time of the network test, players cannot change their voice options. However, in the final release, voices pitch can be changed, and the voice effects such as flanger, harmonizer, echo, and tremolo can be added. And I think that this is awesome. I thought that they were going to end up doing the same thing that Ultimate Tenkaichi did, where you just get a bunch of different voices and you can change it to how you like. to whichever one you like. But then again, they did get a lot of mixed review about the voices in Ultimate Tenkaichi. A lot of them were just stereotypical. A lot of them weren't that good, and they didn't seem that professional. And I guess that here they want to change that, at least make you so that you can change your character's pitch and all that stuff. Maybe if you want them to have a really dark, deep voice, then you could do that. And if you want them to have a very light voice or a very kid-like voice, you can do that. And same thing with female. If you want her to have like a very demanding or dark voice, then you can do that. And if other way around you also want to do that, then that seems cool. I didn't think that they were going to do the pitch thing. I didn't think that that was something that they were going to implement into the game, but it seems like that's what they're doing. And, you know, I can't wait to see how it actually happens in the game. Harmonizer is going to be hilarious. Like, all the effects are going to probably be really hilarious. Echo, I don't even know. I can't wait to hear your character talk like that, and it's going to be fun. So, yep, that's all of the information for today. So, let's go over everything that we pretty much went through. So now we know that the villainous characters are actually going to have somewhat different movesets from their original counterparts, and it just says that it's going to be a much more brutal sort of moveset, so that's something to look forward to. Then we also now know that we can play as the villainous characters in a special mode that will be awarding us more Zenny and special awards that are only accessible through this mode. And then we know that we're going to be getting somewhat of different story mode sequences for the original Dragon Ball Z storyline, as well as the altered one that we see in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And then for the last thing, we know that our character's voice can be changed, and it can be changed throughout its pitch, as well as having different sort of effects such as flanger, harmonizer, echo, and tremolo. So I think this is really awesome. All this news was really cool. If you guys enjoyed this news, then make sure to hit that like button down below. It really helps my channel out. And wow, you guys destroyed the like button on the last video, and I just couldn't believe it. I thought it was going to be my most disliked video, but it actually was my most liked video, at least in terms of how quickly it got those likes, because it got 800 likes in one day. That's like a record-breaking thing for me, and I really appreciate all of you that liked that video. I'm really happy that you guys did it. If you did it for the news or you did it for the rant, either way, I'm really glad that you came and watched my video and you liked it. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys later with more Dragon Ball Xenoverse news, updates, as well as me talking about my opinions of Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And yep, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.